Hello everyone, this is Lucas and I'm coming at you today with a gang stalking video. Now you hear a lot of paranoid stuff on the internet about gang stalking, and you can see all the stuff in YouTube when it comes to gang stalking. But when I started to read through it, because I've had a lot of really crazy things happen to me, and I mean I do run this YouTube channel, so having crazy things happen to me could potentially happen as I get weird people following me around or whatever else. It's not like I'm a huge star. I don't have a lot of subscribers or anything like that, but just weird things happen to me, and I get that feeling that people are watching me or around, and that I've had all kinds of crazy things happen to me. Like once here at my shop, I had a trailer mysteriously fall on a car that I had just fixed, not once but twice, and then the manager refusing to show me the video footage the next day, even though I took photos of the aftermath of what happened. I've had people trying to break into my house. I've had people trying to get into my mailbox. In my previous address, living there was making me really sick. When I lived there, I was on Pantalac, which is a really high powered antacid, because I was really sick all the time, like with acid reflux and general puking and just constipation and all kinds of crazy digestional issues and all this kind of stuff. And this went on for probably about a period of, say about 5 years, maybe 6 years. It's been going on a long time, but it's like hit or miss. It's like it comes in waves. And I know that sounds like some kind of mental instability, but what I'm going to show you today is really creepy. And I've been trying to get people to do something about this in the medical community. And I know when I'm being lied to or when something's amiss, and I'm not going to discredit the fact that this may not be what I think it is. But I've done the research online, and I've had this issue for a long time, and I'm going to show you guys on YouTube, because this is the best way for me to get this out there. Because if I'm right, one way or another, it's a bad deal, because I have something inside of me that is not me. And allow me to explain. So I'm getting older in my age, and I've been diagnosed with carpal tunnel. But when I was diagnosed with carpal tunnel, I went to the doctor about this lump right here, okay, right in the back of my right hand. It hurts. It feels like I have something stuck in the back of my hand, and it's been there for a while, and whatever it is, it's extremely hard and durable. Now, I haven't jammed anything in my hand myself. There's been no accidents in that area. The only thing I can say about this hand was I was in a GT snow racer accident when I was 12 years old. But there was a time here in Edmonton where I was picked up by EMS after I got jumped at a bar, and I was taken to Misericordia Hospital, and the paramedics wouldn't tell me where they were taking me. I was drunk, don't get me wrong, I was drunk, I was pretty beat up at the time. I got rolled outside the bar for change and smokes, but I got beat up at the time, pretty bad. And the EMS took me to the Misericordia Hospital, but they wouldn't tell me where I was, despite the fact I'm still talking and, whatever else. They tried to put an IV in me at the time, I believe, and I kept screaming I wanted to know where I was. Got pretty ugly with the staff there because no one would tell me where I was. And they sent in a security guard, and it was at that point I decided to phone my mother and tell her, yo, I'm at somewhere, I got this guard in here, I'm drunk, I'm beat up, and no one will tell me where I am. And it was at that point, they finally at that point, and this is after a few hours, told me where I was. Now, ever since then, I've had this in my hand, okay, that I can remember. I don't really know when this thing showed up in my hand. I mean, the days following afterwards, I mean, I was really beat up in the face and all this other kind of stuff. So I would have not noticed this right away. I mean, I had a broken nose and it was pretty bad. But what I'm going to show you today is freaky because I've just had so many weird things happen since then. And it's like someone always knows where I am sometimes. And years ago, I thought someone was stalking me, and it actually turned out to be true at work. What happened is the Alberta law falls under PIPA, not PIPEDA like the rest of Canada, which gives your employer the power to track your whereabouts through your cell phone if you have a work phone. Well, I got a new boss, but I was still the senior employee of the company, and that boss decided to parental lock my iPhone and put me under the Find My Phone deal under the parental controls so that she was able to know where I was at all times. And you're wondering, well, how did I figure this out? Well, number one, I couldn't turn the location services off on my phone, but I didn't bother looking for that in my phone at the time because, geofencing and geolocating employees was roughly new around that time. And what I did was to flush her out as I switched the SIM card into another phone that I'd factory reset so that my work phone was no longer my work SIM card was no longer in my work phone. And what that did was it cut me off the GPS location tracking that Apple does with their phones. And it was that time that I caught her looking for me because she came to the building and actually went looking for me because all of a sudden I was there and then I disappeared. And I caught her trying to figure out on her phone what the hell was going on. And then she grabbed my phone and went through it and all this kind of stuff. And that's when I flushed her out. And I made a complaint with the privacy commissioner about it, but nothing was done. Now, this thing's getting worse. This lump gets getting worse. I've had it ultrasound. I've had it x-rayed. It is perfectly round and cylindrical in shape. And if you look here, watch this. Watch. You'll see it. You see it? Right there. That's not a vein. See it? I can push it. See, I can push it from the bottom and it goes up there. It's right here. So watch. You see it right there? Let's see if I can... They've put it in such a really good spot. Yeah, right there. Watch. See the lump? Right there. It's perfectly cylindrical. And it matches the exact same size and shape of a pet RF ID tag. Now, doctors refuse to cut this out. They keep telling me it's a blood clot. And I've seen it on ultrasound when I went to the Insight Medical Clinic. And no one will cut it out. You see it there? Look, boom, there you go. You can see it right under the skin there perfectly right now. You see it? And people think I'm nuts, right? But what's to stop somebody from getting a pet RF ID tag and putting it in someone? Look at that. You telling me that's not an RF ID tag right there? You see it? Boom, look. Now, gang stalking is a real thing. I've looked at it online, and people say that they've cut these things out themselves. My problem is that this mother is really close to a vein. So if I end up cutting it out myself, I'm going to do it live on YouTube. And it could just be some, careless nurse left a piece of ID or IV in there or something like that. But look at it. No, it's exactly the measurements given for a pet ID tag. 12 millimeters by 2 millimeters. And like I said, it's round. So if people think you're paranoid and you think you're being gang stalked and you think you got an RFID tag in you, I don't think you're crazy. And the fact that I'm showing this to you on YouTube and that you can see it in my hand freaks me out. Now I'm going to try to zap it. This is the first thing I'm going to do because I didn't want to think that somebody would actually try to do that. And when somebody told me it's a blood clot, especially a doctor, I just kind of rolled with it. I even went on a diet and stuff like that and went, oh, wow, I better get on this. I'm almost 40. But my body's rejecting it more and more every day, and that's why it's becoming so visible. Before, it used to be really deep. Now it's creeping close to the surface of my skin, to the point where I'm ready to cut it out myself. I mean, the doctors won't help me, and that's what really messes me up, that if this was a medical deal that no one's telling me about, that it's bigger than I think it is, and at that point, that's just scary. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe, but it's probably just freaking you out. I mean, after I came to the realization that this thing is the same size as a pet RFID tag, it's starting to really freak me out.